Hello everyone, welcome to a new programming series. In this series we'll be learning PHP and I'm going to build a small website for something I need, and also hopefully we will learn and have a little bit of fun. Okay, so before we start we need to prepare things. So basically I went and you know downloaded and installed Git. And Git basically is a source control software, meaning that it allows you to, keep track of your source code and go back in time to a previous version of it, create branches, and merge the code and so on. It will make your life much easier. You don't need it, but it will make your life much easier. And you know, I don't know how to work without it now. It's amazing. It's amazing. You'll see. This is the first thing. Next, we need an integrated development environment or an editor. So I went and downloaded Visual Studio Code. Okay. Sorry about that. And next, we need a web server running on our machine, on our development machine. So I went to XAMPP, Apache Friend, they provide XAMPP. XAMPP is basically a package that contains a number of free software that used together will, allow you to create a web server. So Apache, basically the web server side of things, provide the pages. The MariaDB is the database that will store the information, and PHP is the scripting language that will make your site dynamic. We will have a better look at these later on. So I installed this one. So let's have a look. What do we have here? So I'll just say localhost here, and you'll see why. In the meantime, I will run XAMPP. So when I run XAMPP, I see something like this. And basically, it means that right now you can see Apache and there is no PID, meaning that there is no process ID. So it's not working. So if I press start, okay, sorry. Oh, it needs higher security, yes. So I started it, it's now green and you have a process ID and ports. Okay, so if I refresh the page on localhost, okay, you can see now you got this web page. Okay, so let's go back to it and stop it. Okay, so here, yes, I want to stop it. And if I refresh, nothing. Okay, so this is the first thing. Next, I will start the MySQL database. Okay, so if I want to manage the MySQL database, I just go to admin here and I will get into this page, and now I can see MySQL database and work with it. Okay, now each time you will restart your computer, Apache and MySQL won't run. You have to run them manually. So to make our life a little bit easier, we could do the following. Okay, so I will close this software here and right click on it, right click on this again and say run as administrator. And what that does is it opens to you this part here. Okay, so you can see now what this means. Okay, service means that you want this piece of software to run as soon as Windows finishes booting. Okay, so I will and this option is not enabled unless you are an administrator on the computer or running this software administrator permission. Okay, So I will click here and give it a yes. Click here and give it a yes. So this means Apache and MySQL will start after Windows finished booting. Okay, so I will start these services. Don't want to restart now, but basically this is what we need, and that's it. Okay, so now we have our server working, as you can see here. Okay, this is our server working. Now the important thing is where is the files in our server? Well, at the default installation of XAMPP, you can change the default installation location, but basically if you go to C, you'll find XAMPP in there. If you open this folder, you will find something called htdocs. Open htdocs and you will find this. Okay, so I will show you something simple here. Now, if I remove this one and hit enter, it always gets me back to dashboard. So I will right click this and say open. And what happens now, Visual Studio Code will open the file. I will just, Control X, cut this, and I will say test. Save the file by pressing Control S. Now it's saved. And go back to the browser. And now press enter. And instead of redirection, we get what? We get the word test that we wrote. So go back here. I will return things to the way they were. So Control Z again. Now this is the PHP code that is responsible for displaying the dashboard. So I'll save this. Okay, go back, refresh again. Wonderful, everything is wonderful. Okay, so basically this is where the website is. And if you put a slash after the localhost and write something, basically it will navigate to that folder, in this case dashboard, and start processing the files there or displaying the files there. Okay, so let's say I want to go to Wobblizer. Okay, I never tried that here, but whatever. So just say Wobblizer and press enter. And I don't have permission basically. But this is the basic idea. Okay, so now given that, let's try to create our own website and test it. Okay, so let me close this. Okay, or let me close Visual Studio Code altogether and run it again. Okay, so it gets something like this. Okay, so here I am going to create a new folder. So I will say first open folder, and I navigate to C XAMPP htdocs. I will create a folder here, new folder. I'll call this test01. Enter this our first test and say after this one being clicked or selected, select folder. And what we see here is that this is the folder name and this is the content, so there is nothing. Let's go to this one. Let me show you. So I will say test01 and it shows me this page. So Apache went to the folder test1 and found nothing in the directory. It's displaying this one. And basically if I go to here, I'll find this is the folder test01. I open it, there is nothing. So let's try to create a file. So if I go and here I will just click, you can see here there's a plus for a new file, this one's folder. I create a new file. I call this readme.txt. Okay, so this is a file here. Now let's go to the website. I will just refresh. Oh, I don't think I saved it, right? So let's save. I'll just say hi. Okay, now let's try and refresh. Interesting. It seems that it doesn't display anything. Anyway, this is the readme file. Okay, very straightforward. Okay, let's go back here. I will change the I will remove this file. Give me a second, please. Delete. Yes. And now I will create something different. This is a.html, and I will say here you are displaying file a.html, and Control S to save it. So let's go back here. Let me see. Does it display? Yeah. Seems that it's filtered to display HTML and PHP files. Anyway, so I can actually navigate here by either clicking the file, okay, or writing a.html, no problem, enter. And it says here you're displaying file a.html. So let's go and create another file here. Sorry, b.html, enter. Okay, and this is file b, and we save this one. Go back, just change this one from a to b. Okay, as you can see here. And if I remove this one, go to the directory, it shows me this. Okay, very straightforward. And if I go to the folder, you can see the files. Very straightforward stuff, nothing complicated. Now let's try to write a little PHP code. Okay, so by default, if you don't specify page name, the web server will search for index.html or index.php. So we're gonna create index.php. So I can say here index.php, enter. And here I will write a little bit of HTML first. h1 slash h1. Okay, sorry. Hello, dear viewer. Okay, so I'll save this file. Let's go back here. Now I will refresh. Yeah, as you can see, hello dear viewer. No problem. Okay, so far this is normal. It doesn't have PHP code yet. However, I will display a friendly message using PHP. So in order to tell the browser that you want to run code on the server, we'll just say PHP and close it with this one. Okay, you don't have to make it on different lines. You could put all this in one line, but it's I like organized things this way. Anyway, so I'll just say echo testing, the echo command of PHP, and I will save this and go back and just refresh. You can see the message being displayed. Echo just does one thing, which is displaying text to the output. Okay, so very straightforward. Now I will change this a little bit. Okay, don't worry about the code, just showing you that it works. Sorry, $1 equals 0, $sign I smaller than, let's say, million number, $sign I plus plus, and all I have to do echo $sign I something like this. and I will save it. I assume I'm not mistaken this code. So if everything goes well, this should be displaying numbers from 0 to, almost a million, right? Million minus 1. Okay, so you can see the page is still loading. So basically I gave it too much work. So maybe instead of this million, make it 1,000. Okay, and we save this. And I will just stop and refresh. Sorry. Okay, so you can see that all these numbers have been generated. Okay, from 0 to 1,000, all using very little code. Okay, which is PHP code. So these are generated dynamically. Yeah, you can see that I didn't write all the numbers, just code, and it generates them right away. No problem. Very straightforward thing. Okay, so now we have seen that PHP is working. What also do we need in order to make sure that everything works well? Well, we need to have the ability to debug PHP. Okay, so in order to do that, we need to do few things. So here I will just click here. So in order to be able to perform, debugging, we need to do few things. Okay, so if I remember correctly, let me see, create a non-JSON file. Okay, so here when I want to perform a create debug or launch JSON file, this file basically tells Visual Studio Code how to treat how the PHP plugin will work so that it enables debugging. Okay, this is my understanding of the matter. Anyway, so here I will go to install an extension for PHP, and you can see here there is this PHP debug, and there is 5.8 million people that have installed this one. So I'll choose this and just select install. Okay, and yeah, so this extension is recommended based on files recently opened, and yeah, here I think, yeah, so the installation here, it explains how to perform installation of this thing. Okay, so here install extension, press F1 and type ext install PHP debug. Okay, so I'm not sure if it finished or not, but whatever. This extension is a debug adapter in Visual Studio Code and XDebug, and so on. Install XDebug. Yeah, so here what it asks you is to create a simple file called test.php. So let's try to do that. So inside this folder, we'll create something called test.php. Enter. Okay, and then what it's asking us to do is to add this line of code, PHP info. Basically, it will display all the details of current installation of PHP. Oh, sorry. That's PHP info. There you go. semicolon. Sorry, forgot that. PHP, save it. So let's go to the browser. Just say here test.php and enter. So this is the information here. Okay, so these are the details about our PHP installation. It helps us a lot, to know what's going on, what's enabled, disabled, and so on. Anyway, let's go back to Visual Studio Code. So you finish these steps, and yeah. Sorry. So you finish these and copy the output and paste it into xdebug installation wizard. Okay, so let me click this link. So this is xdebug.org. So all I have to do, close this one, Control A, copy. If I'm not mistaken, I just need to paste this one here and analyze. Okay, so it analyzed the text or the output, and it gave me these information, and now these are the instructions for me to install xdebug. Okay, so first thing, I need to download this DLL. So obviously I will download it. Okay, that's fine. Move the downloaded file to php.ext. So let's keep the file, please. Cancel. Keep it, please. Show more. Keep anyway. Okay. Okay, so let me copy this file, and I need to go to this one. It said php ext, if I'm not mistaken. All right. Move it to ext. php underscore xdebug.dll, and paste this one here and rename it. So I need to remove everything else. xdebug.dll, enter. Okay, so this is done. Update php ini, add the line. Okay, so we have to copy this. Where is php.ini? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, sorry. It's in this one. Type PHP. I think it's this one. So edit. Okay, PHP ini. And here, what does it say? Update and add the line. Yeah, send extension. Okay, there's something called send here. Control F. I think I'll just add it to the very end here. No, not the very end. It didn't specify exactly where should I add it. Let me read this. Add the line to send extension equal. Let me see. Control C, Control F, send extension. Okay, so it has something in here. It should be xdebug. Okay, so send extension xdebug. Semicolon means that this line is commented, doesn't work in the configuration. So file and save it. Okay, so send extension, let me see. Send extension equal xdebug and restart the Apache server. So let's stop this one. If all goes well, I need sorry, I need to run this as administrator so that doesn't annoy me every click. So I'll just stop this, okay, and start. Awesome. So I finished the installation. Okay. Yeah, and so on. So might be some other things to do, but basically you finish the basic setup of xdebug. Now let's go back here, and yeah, configure PHP to use xdebug and then extension and so on. Enable remote debugging PHP ini. Okay, so we need to enable, okay, for xdebug 2 point, I think which version did I use? This is 3.1, xdebug 3.1. So here, sorry, it's taking a little bit of time. So I will just copy this one and go back to PHP ini, edit it again, and yeah, I will just go, where is it? Doesn't say, let's see, Zend extension, control F, Zend, sorry, Zend extension, next, okay, so I'll just add these, oh, sorry, oops, copy, not cut, yeah, copy or control C. Okay, there you go. So xdebug mode and so on. So I'll just save this again, and I'll just have to stop this and start. Good, awesome. So yeah, I suppose this is all we need to do. And file installation checking, yeah. Okay, so one last thing to do. Go back to this one. I'll refresh this and see and search for something called xdebug. Yeah, so you can see here xdebug now appears, and yeah, so we have step debugger enabled. So I suppose everything is ready, and now we can, you know, enable debugging in our project. Sorry, it took me a little bit of time. Very sorry about that. Let's go back in here. So let's go back here, create this one, and basically it created this file for us right away. Okay, so now it created the file. If I remember correctly, I need to add this configuration to the project, right? Let me see. Let me see, just a second. I think I just need to start debugging, and I will just say allow. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is to put a breakpoint in here. Okay, I will change the code a little bit. So echo first second, third, fourth. And the goal of this is to, make sure that I can step at each one of these. Okay, you need a breakpoint. So here, yeah. So I put a breakpoint in here. Now let's try it out. And basically, I'll just press enter and we'll go to the page if everything goes well. Enter. And it seems that's working. You can see this one is flashing. There you go. This is the first F10. This is the second F10. This is the third and fourth. So we finished everything. You can see now the browser. First, second, third, fourth combined together. No problem there. So very straightforward. So I think that will be all. What we managed to do is, set up the main environment, enable debugging for PHP, and hopefully tomorrow we will start the actual development process of the system. Okay, and learn the language alongside with that. Okay, that will be all. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day. Bye bye.